Hello, I'm Derek Wheatley, and welcome to episode 32 of the Weekly podcast. As always, thanks very much for your support during the week. We got a great response to the last episode where Grace Daniels was on. We got some new followers, some lovely messages on Instagram actually, and Grace sent them on to me as well. And it was a nice episode for people to listen to, especially mothers, I suppose, who have had the experiences that she has had in hospitals and maybe with sleep problems and breastfeeding. All those kind of things have been, that aren't talked about as much, and I thought some of the messages kind of agreed with that, I suppose. So thanks a million to Grace for that. She set a new record in the length of the podcast as well, which is great. We're still doing the Facebook Live on the Sundays. So I'm recording this on the Saturday, so tomorrow obviously I'll be on to chat a bit more about the flow neuroscience thing that I'm using. So we'll see, I'm only a week in, so I'm not expecting a miracle cure, but it's interesting nonetheless. But anyway, let's get on with it. I want to introduce a rapper and a grime artist, and his name is Cian Teggy, Teague, most important. Cian, how you doing?
I'm good. What is up?
What is up with you? Listen, we organised you coming out a long time before the coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
You were set up when I set up this podcast. You were one of the names on the list, and it sounds like I'm saying that to everybody, but there was literally 6 people on the list at the start. Yeah. So it's good to have you out here now. Tell us a bit about your a short history of your upbringing.
My upbringing. So I was born in, I think, Walsall or Worsley near Birmingham, and I grew up in a place called the Black Country, which is on the border of Birmingham, little town where Peaky Blinders is filmed. Yeah. So it's called the Black Country because all the coal mines back in the day would have been smoky and all the sky was black. Yeah. So that's where I grew up for about 14 years. Right. And then I come over here for a holiday to visit John. John, who we all know well.
Yeah, I was just going to say this. You're the second person who has been the second person on who has a family connection to the podcast. So yeah. John Francis is your cousin.
Yeah, cousin. So I spent the summer holidays here, and then I just loved it over here, and I was like, told my mum, like, I want to live here. So I was like, I was going to actually stay here. I started school over here for like a couple of days, and then my mum come over then, and then she was just like, yeah, we're going to live here.
So is your mum Irish?
Yeah, she was brought up here, yeah.
Right, yeah. And what was it then about Ireland that you liked?
The crack.
That is a good answer.
Everyone's more friendly here,
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you say you're part of the Black Country, so my idea, my limited knowledge of English geography would say, but when I think of that area of England, I kind of think of the football teams, because the way a lot of football fans in Ireland will have learnt the geography from that. Yeah. So there's West Brom, Wolves, Aston Villa, Birmingham. Yeah. You're a West Brom fan yourself. You were from the area.
Yeah. So, right. Yeah. So it's like they're all in kind of Birmingham area. Yeah. But obviously certain towns would be located more with certain teams. Yeah. So like where I was from, you'd see more West Brom fans, right, and maybe the odd Wolves fan.
You told me actually, because this was something I didn't know. Everybody knows about the Birmingham Villa rivalry.
Derby, yeah.
Yeah, second city derby.
Yeah.
But Wolves and West Brom really don't like each other as well.
No, not at all, no.
Right? And you told me, like, going into the Wolves area, you'd have to be pretty on your toes.
My sister lives in Wolverhampton now.
Oh, that's right.
So then I remember I was in a shop wearing a West Brom like jacket. Yeah. And I didn't know we were actually outside the Molyneux, which is the Wolves ground. Like, I didn't even know we were there. And some guy kept staring at me, and I was just like, what's he staring at, And then he come over, he's like, you're a brave man wearing that here. I didn't.
Yeah, well, he was nice.
Good job, I didn't get shanked.
Yeah, it was pretty nice of him to warn you, though.
Yeah.
So you came over here, and what age were you when you moved here?
14.
Right, and then you obviously started, second year, was it?
Yeah, I went into second year.
And how was actually, I'll ask you, because I never asked Josh, who was the other English person who we had on. Did you get any kind of anti-English stuff thrown at you? Or?
Nah, not from people though, but I found, maybe it's just me, because I was a bit naughty in school and that, but the teachers seemed racist to me, like.
Really, yeah?
Like, I was there's my first swear word.
That's
anyway.
Alright, don't worry about it.
I was in class one day, and I don't know what, it was something to do with my handwriting and that, and then like the teacher was like, oh, you're going to blame Tony Blair for that. And I was like, what has that got to do with my handwriting? So
Tony Blair.
I don't know. She was just racist, I think.
Well, look, that's the whole thing about it. There's always going to be a bit of that, like. Yeah. And it's like that whole thing of, like Chucky or Law, the whole this slogan for the IRA thing, and it's always kind of thrown about. And I heard someone say it in the gym.
Probably me.
No.
I love that saying. Chucky or Law.
It wasn't you, right? But it was somebody said it, and Josh was there. Now Josh didn't know what it meant.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know? So I explained to him in the end, but it's kind of one of those things that's kind of thrown about kind of mindlessly. Like if you say it, there's kind of an irony in it, but if an Irish person says it when an English person is around, it seems a bit insensitive. But
I think it's funny.
Well, that's
and I love all them songs, you know, or the IRA songs, brilliant.
But that's like, were you around that when you were growing up? The song, no.
Nah.
That was
no, I heard it. Like my mum would play all Irish music and that in England. I used to love all that.
And what took your mother there? I should have asked that first, actually.
To England?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even know.
Just probably just a job, more
Episode
job.
Episode 33, Siobhan Francis.
Yeah, she's on there.
I know. I don't know. It's just, I suppose, back in the day, everyone thought England was probably the place to go to get jobs and that. Yeah. And she obviously got my dad then. And then had some children. Yeah. The best one was me, obviously.
Goes without saying. How many brothers and sisters have you got, actually?
I got an older sister.
Yeah.
She's 29. And I got my little brother. He's 15. I got another little brother in England. He's 12 or 13.
Right.
And I think my other little sister in England is about 16, 17 now as well.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Big fan.
Yeah, big fan. But who's with you now? Like,
just my little brother. The 15-year-old,
yeah.
That'd be like my stepdad's kid.
Right, yeah,
and then I have a full sister in England. The older one.
That's Sinead.
Sinead, yeah. And then the other two, Kimberly and Lewis, would be my half-brother and sister as well.
Right.
With my dad and stepmom.
It's big. It's kind of an extended family, isn't it?
Yeah.
So listen, when did you first become aware of mental health?
Mental health, jeez, that's a tough one. I don't know. It's probably like when I first started music, maybe. You know, where obviously when someone does something different, as you know, everyone's like, they don't like that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like people were like taking the mickey and all that, where it'd annoy me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wasn't suffering as bad as other people do, but it was still getting to me. You know what I mean? Where certain places, if I'd go somewhere and like people would like look, or I'd be like, are they looking at me because I'm a rapper? And I still feel like that sometimes. You know, you go somewhere and it's like someone must be talking or something, and I'm like, are they looking at me different because I do music and that, and they think that I'm an idiot for doing that or something? You know?
But isn't that the whole thing about you have the strength, or you're brave enough to put yourself out there, and they may not be, and then it's just a sense of they're a little bit annoyed or a bit jealous that that's what you're doing, and you're trying trying to do something new.
I'd say definitely, yeah. I actually, like about a year back, I got a message off a dude who used to like comment on all my stuff, taking the mick and that, and he actually messaged me and sent me this big paragraph, and I was actually thinking, I was like, why is this dude messaging me? Like, I don't like this dude, you know, I want to kill him. And he messaged me, he's like, I just want to say sorry that what I used to do, and he's like, he said himself, he's like, I was just a bit jealous that I was afraid, because he's actually like a videographer now and that.
All right.
And he was like saying, I was just a bit jealous that you were out there doing your thing, and I was too scared to do it myself, like, you know. So I was like, that's pretty, I was like, fair play, you know.
Like, it's very honest of him to kind of own up to the fact that's probably a thing that happens quite often, where it is jealous rather than they just won't get up and do it themselves or be creative themselves, and you know.
I had to cross him off my list then, you know. I had him on a list. I was like, I'm chinning him one day. No, I don't have to.
Chinning him. Yeah. We'll translate all this lingo after. But so what were your who were your first influences in music?
Elvis, probably. Elvis was weirdly enough, like I'd say Elvis, because Mum used to listen to him a lot, so I'd listen to him like running around the house and all that. I used to listen to him. Michael Jackson, I love Michael Jackson as well. Don't like what he did apparently, but you know what I mean. Allegedly. And then Eminem would be the first rapper I got into. But then like that was just like I wasn't really into it. That's just like what I'd listen to and like run around the house to going mad when I was a kid and that. But like really getting influenced by like lyrics, and like my first like idol would probably be Dappy, you know. Yeah. Like I really connected with him.
Like so actually, do you know what? I did have this put down at the end, but let's talk a bit about Dappy. So Dappy is, to explain to people who don't know, he was in N-Dubs first, and they were like was it pop?
Yeah, it's not like a rap duo. So it'd be like three of them. So it'd be Dappy, Talisa, and Faiza.
And some people might know her as she was an X Factor
judge. Yeah,
that's right. So tell us your encounter, or I suppose the whole story around you and Dappy.
Well, I was obviously I'd say I would have probably like just when I moved over really, when it all started happening. And like I just listened to Dappy non-stop, you know. I remember pre-ordering his album when it come out, had the day off school just to listen to his album. And then I made a vlog because he was in trouble with the police at one stage in England, so I made a vlog. I was like, I'm going to get into vlogging like all these YouTubers. And I made it about Dappy.
Right.
And then I remember then one of my friends from school messaged me and was like, Dappy's tweeted your video on Twitter.
Wow.
And I was like, there's no way, like. And then, he did. And he was like, he put a tweet up then. He's like, I love this guy, Teggy. I'd make a whole album for him and all this. And I was just like going mad. Like, I was like, oh my God, this can't be real. And then someone actually commented on the video on YouTube and was like, I'd love to make a video with you. Here's my email. And I was like, who's this? So I was like, I'll email them anyway, you know. And I sent him an email. And then he's like, what's your number? I was like, it's a bit dodgy now, someone asking for my number. I was like, all right, I gave him my number. And then obviously some dude rang and it was Dappy's manager.
Right.
And then he was like, hey, Teggy, I'm Dappy's manager.
And were you still a bit...
Yeah, I just was like, fuck off. No, you're not. You know what I mean? I was like, I thought someone's prank calling for Matt Lone or something. Or someone's taking the piss at me, But then Dappy come on the phone, he's like, oh, what's going on? And like, I knew straight away because I've watched like, they had a show called like B&N Dubs and I've watched all these interviews. I knew that was his voice. And I was just like, I couldn't even talk, like, you know what I mean? I was like, hello. You know, and then he was like, basically that the video like lifted him up a bit, you know what I mean? With everything going on, he said like the video made him really happy and he was like, I'm going to meet you one day and all this, like.
Wow.
And then eventually, it took about, after that, like we stayed in touch. He'd ring me like randomly, sometimes I'd be out and then he'd just ring me. And like, because no one would believe me, I put it on Facebook like, Dappy rang me and everyone's like, you're chatting shit. And then nothing come of it. So then obviously all my true friends believed me because they actually were there. Sometimes I put them on loudspeaker and the boys would hear me talking to him. And then nothing actually come of it. And then he rang me one day and he's like, I'm shooting a music video for one of his freestyle things. And he was like, I want you to be in it. And I want you to be the main character and all this, like. So I was obviously buzzing. But then his management wouldn't let him because I wasn't 18 yet. And I was drinking women and all that. Yeah. My favourite things. But so that fell through and that just annoyed me. Yeah. You know? Because he didn't actually say it to me, he just dropped the music video. So now I was pissed, and then I think I put up a tweet like, fuck you, all this.
Just out of pure,
I was really annoyed, like. Yeah. And then, but then he rang me again, and he was like, look, I have 2 shows in London. Yeah. Like on a Friday and a Saturday in the O2 Academy. It's like, I want you to come over. And I was like, well, I don't have the money. And he's like, I'll give you the money. Wow. So he actually transferred me the money into my bank to stay there for 2 nights. Wow. Flights over and everything. And then I got there. So this would be the first time I ever met him. Yeah. And I like walked down backstage in the O2 and he was getting his hair cut. And I sat there and he was like, you know, go on, man, got up, hug me. He's like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. Yeah.
And what were you like? Like, were you, again, you said when he called you, you couldn't speak. What were you like when you face to face with him? Was it similar?
I was bricking it, yeah. Because I remember I was in the hotel room waiting for him to ring me, and he was like, I'll ring you at this time. And then it was like half an hour after, I was like, this isn't happening, he's not going to ring me. And then I got the call then. I went there and met him, and he's just like, just makes you feel welcome. And like his whole team, like you'd have like Meza, and who's Meza, Lewis, there's a few of them there, like,
and they're all,
and like even like I've met him like 4 or 5 times since, and like, when they're there, they're like, oh Teggy, what is up? They treat me like, you know, one of them. Deadly. But yeah, it made me feel welcome. And then obviously I was on for the actual gig. Then he put me in a DJ booth on stage, like, so I was on stage for the whole gig. That was in London. Stayed the 2 nights, and the second night the whole of the Celebrity Big Brother, because he was in Celebrity Big Brother.
All right.
So I didn't know that, actually. He come second on that, and that year all the cast from there came into the actual like room that I was in. Like, it was mad, like, you know.
That's crazy stuff, isn't it?
So that was cool. Then the second time I met him, I think he was in Tullamore. Went over and chilled with him for the night there. Yeah. And then he was in the Academy in Dublin then for his own show, and I went up to see him again, like, and then before the show, then he was like, I'm gonna bring you on stage. Brought me on stage, and we performed his like #1 chart, No Regrets. That was like #1 in the UK. Performed that with him on stage in front of the crowd. Like,
that was because the video, the photographs and stuff you have up, like, that's just, to me, right? So we had Leah Maloney on a few weeks ago, I should say, and she was she was a massive fan of Florence.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, she met a book club.
Yeah, and this kind of thing for me, and you for Dappy. If I'm trying to think of like my kind of heroes, and then not just meeting them, but actually getting to collaborate with them, and you getting to go on stage. It must have been like, I don't know how like you gig anyway, right? We'll talk a bit about that, but like you getting on stage with one of your heroes.
Oh, it's crazy.
It must have been just like surreal kind of experience, was it?
Yeah, because like that's what I mean. Like I met him before and all that, and we're in contact now and again and stuff. But it's like, I don't know. It was just hard. It was just like a big blow. Like, I'm getting you on stage tonight, and even at that, then like I didn't believe it. And then it was like, I remember I was backstage, and then he was like, "Oh, who wants to come on stage for this next song?" And I was like, "Hang on, is he gonna pick someone else to come on stage now?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then his manager was like, "Get in the crowd, quick, get in the crowd." So I walked around the crowd, and then he was like, "Yo, come up." And then he picked me up, like, so it looked like he got me out of the crowd, and we did the song, like, and then I just like, don't know, just took over. You know, I just started the rap and
the confidence though.
Yeah,
like obviously we didn't. If you see it, you don't see it coming from the crowd, but the confidence from the start of the video it's just there, like, you know, with you. And I want to touch on that like a little bit later on. It's just the whole difference of like Cian and Teggy, because there must be a slight difference in it, like, so it's a mad story, like, it's from the development of it, like someone they seen a video and contacting you, and it's crazy how the internet can work in that way, like, it's not all bad. A lot of it
there's
is
some good stuff. It is mad, like, you know, because I actually remember I went to Dappy's show in 2012 in that exact same building.
Oh really?
I was front row. We waited like 4 hours, me and Demantis. And I remember saying, I was like, I'm going to be on that stage one day. I'm going to be on that stage. And I actually ended up being on it with Dappy. Doing that song. And I remember during the song, like, he just comes over and we got his arm around me, looking out at the crowd. And then we both jump into the crowd together. And so it was just like, I don't know, you know what I mean? That's something you take to the grave there.
Yeah, that's one of those things that, like, you see people make films about, you know, like this whole dream of, and then it actually happens, and it doesn't happen that often in life for people where they get that dream. And
but it's like, if nothing ever comes of music now, like, you know,
you've done.
I don't mind, because I've achieved that and achieved other stuff, so I was like, I'm happy out, you know.
I agree, and you're continuing to achieve stuff as well, which is, you know, unreal, really. So we'll go back into to grime. Can you explain what grime is, and maybe some of the main kind of players in
grime? Is what you find under the bathtub.
That's what someone said to me yesterday. I was like, oh, very good.
No, grime music, basically, it's like rap, but it's kind of like at a higher pace.
Right.
That's like, I'm probably not explaining it good. Like, proper grime fans are going to hate me, but
can I tell you how many beats per minute it is? Because I looked it up last night. 140 beats per minute.
Yeah, 140
usually.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a British genre.
It's a British culture, which it would have started off with the likes of Wheatley.
Yeah.
Like, people say he's the godfather of grime.
Okay.
So, like, the likes of Wheatley and Skepta.
Yeah.
And then boys, they would have started off like on pirate radios back in the day, putting up freestyles. Like, there was a channel called Risky Roads, which is a YouTube channel. They would have started off like doing, you know, freestyles, and then they started clashing each other on a show called Lord of the Mics.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
okay.
like Skepta versus Wheatley.
Yeah,
and they'd be like dissing each other,
rap
like
battles.
rap battles, like, but like a UK version of that.
Okay.
Like. And then it got like, it was big enough, and then I think it kind of went quiet for a while.
Right.
And then obviously you get certain grime artists, and they come back and they like revive it, you know. So like the likes of now, everyone's probably heard of Stormzy.
Yeah.
He would have been coming back and brought the grime scene back.
Yeah.
And Bugsy Malone. And
I've heard of him.
Dave. There's a dude called Dave now. He's very good.
Just Dave, is that his name?
Yeah, just Dave. He's very good. Like, I think he won Album of the Year.
I would say Stormzy, right, is kind of the one that I can, you know, I know who he is, right?
Yeah.
But not just that. Like, I saw him do his Glastonbury set, and it was unbelievable. And I'm not someone who knows a lot about grime, and people think it's weird when I tell them I'm into rap, but I do like a bit of rap. But grime is new to me, right? But I saw Stormzy do that set, and the energy of the set of one guy. When you kind of think of rap or grime or those kind of genres of music, you don't think as one person on stage, DJ maybe behind. It's completely different to that, like, because the energy that
I think he has to give off more energy, you know. Because there's not the band there. Like, when there's a band, you can do your thing, but he's just there, and he's like his songs. He has to go out and get the crowd going.
I agree, and I think that, like, you're talking about yourself. You used to do that kind of if you're doing your own music as well, and it's that whole. There's a level of confidence that you almost have to hit, where you're saying about bands, like a singer can just stand there and sing and he might not be feeling it at all, but people know, well, that's all he does anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to bring energy in, and that's what I admire about it. I mean, you're doing 140 beats per minute, like, behind you, you've got to do it yourself. Like, you got to bring it as well, you know. But it's great, like, and people, if people don't know what grime is, and kind of, if they're into kind of rap and genres like that should definitely check out people like you've suggested.
100%, yeah. And
like
it's getting known in the, like, America and that.
Yeah.
Like if you see Drake, like he's probably one of America's biggest artists, and he actually watched a show called Top Boy.
Oh right,
so the old ones, and he got like influenced by that now, and now he's making songs with UK artists.
Is he?
Like Heady One and
which is gonna make
Gigs. Yeah, and he's blowing it up again, and he's putting on this UK accent and all this.
Is he?
It's mad. And then he actually paid to make the new Top Boy. He made a new season of it.
Oh right.
Like he invested in it because he liked the show so much and he likes the culture so much.
I didn't know he was that into it.
So it's expanding over to America and that now as well.
That's great. That's deadly. When did you start writing music?
Cheers. Back properly. Well, I don't know. It's like when I was in England, it was a big thing at the time. So my best friend Akeem over there, people call him Chunk, he was like into like the MCing and rapping, so he'd be like go onto the playground and freestyle,
right,
and then everyone would be around, and I was like, that's cool. So and I'd like go home and write like a few bars. Like I remember the first lyrics I ever wrote was like, I used to call myself Teaguester,
right,
and it was like, MC Teaguester, as you know, I got 5 girls on the go, like, you know, just stuff like that. Like they were the first ever lyrics I ever wrote, but like I wasn't intending on recording them or anything. I just made them back in the day. Yeah. And I was always too scared to like put that out there. So then like really then it was when I come to Ireland, I found a beat and then I freestyled over it and I put it online. Right. And people were like, yeah, that's sick. And then obviously some people were like, that's shit. Yeah. But it didn't bother me, but there was better reception than all the hate kinda.
Yeah, there's more people like it than dislike it. And that's...
So and I kinda just from there I was just making like, I'd find like if a good song come out like You Need Me by Ed Sheeran, I did a rap over that.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just like popular songs with like a hook, and I keep the hook in, and then I just do my own rap lyrics over it. That's kind of how I was doing at the start. Yeah. But obviously I've just continued now, and now it's completely different because now I buy the beat, buy the license, record it professionally. Yeah. You know, it's like make my own like hooks. Yeah. Write my own choruses for a singer to come in and sing it for me, and
which is so you're like it's not just couple of lines or whatever, it's a full-on production you're almost doing. And like what then so at the very start of a song, so say you buy the beat, is your writing process a case where you sit down and say, I'm gonna write a song now, or is it just one of those things that you just start, like you say, freestyling and then you just see what happens with it? Yeah,
a bit of both really. Yeah. Like I can be out like getting the bus to town, and something will come in my head and I just write. I have like a notepad on my phone, I'd write just 3-4 lines, right? Yeah. Just go bars, like 4 bars, and I'd write that, and I just might not even look at them for weeks. Yeah. And then like obviously I'll go onto like YouTube, like where producers upload their beats and stuff, and you can buy like certain licenses. But like I'd just like, if a beat that I like, for like the flow, then I'd be like just humming, and then obviously the lyrics come, and then sometimes then I'd go back, I'd be like, hang on, I've got 4 lyrics that'll go fit perfectly here.
Yeah. So you like that person that has. Now I know it'll be on your phone, but you like that person that has little snippets of lyrics here and there around the place.
that can fit together. But it's like I said, it's different times. Like sometimes I could sit down, sometimes put on a beat, and I'd finish the song in an hour. Yeah, like from start to finish, and I'd be like, yeah, that's it. Then I have certain songs that I've been writing for you know what I mean, for ages, for months, and I'm just like, they're nearly done, but I need the last verse, and I'm just like, it's not coming to me. And then one day I'll click it on, and it'll come to me, and I'll finish it.
So do you have you're good with the patience then for it? It's not that if you don't finish it, you'll chuck it away. It's keep it.
No, I keep all my lyrics in a folder and stuff. But it's like that. I've brought beats like especially over like this whole crowd thing. I brought a lot of beats I haven't even used yet. But
oh, nice, yeah.
I know they're there, and I'm gonna make songs out of them.
You've got a backlog of stuff ready to come out, which is always something to look forward to. Yeah. What are the main, and I'll keep this clean, what are the main themes of your music?
Bitches and money. I know. Jeez, it varies, you know? Yeah. I like to be, there's a lot of artists out there that I just literally upload the same type of vibe every song. Like, I never want to be that guy. Like, I want to release something different every time, so I could be spitting on grime. Like, I had a song called Drug Dealer. Yeah. Which is kind of like, I called it Drug Dealer because people can click into it and be like, he's a drug dealer. But even though it's like, the lyrics are like, I'm not a drug dealer, but I'm making money like a drug dealer. Yeah. But like I actually did that on a drill beat. Right. So that was kind of like, I call that like street kind of vibe, you know? But I'd go from that, and then like I have a new one coming out soon with Jack Tiernan, which is like a party song, like a dance song, which is about like a girl betraying you,
right?
And but like I'm gonna get over that and go clubbing and meet someone new.
Yeah.
I have songs like that. Then I have a serious song coming out, which is about like it's called My Story, which is literally about growing up, coming into music and that. So it's just like I like to keep it versatile, where I don't want to be like just stuck to one
like genre. But you know, I love the difference, because I'm a big fan of your song voices.
Yeah,
as you know,
like that one. Like that's what I mean. That's a storytelling,
and it's a storytelling, and there's a brilliant little piano motif in it, like that. I think it just sticks in your head as soon as you hear it. But if you heard Voices and Drug Dealer together, you wouldn't think they were by the same artist.
No.
And I don't, and I mean in the sense like that, you know, the way somebody is, even if you were talking about other rappers and stuff, the genre is, they're stuck in a genre. And sometimes it works for them. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. If people want to work within the same genre, that's fine. But I love the fact that there's such a difference between the two songs. Yeah. I think that's great. Like, and I think that's the way to go as well, because it doesn't just keep the listener interested, it keeps you interested.
Yeah, I think you can gain more fans, like, as well. But I think if you stick, the way I'm looking at it is like, I think if you stick to one genre, I think you build your fan base quicker, but then it's only going to be stuck to that. Yeah. Well, like you say, if you like spit on grime, you're going to be a grime artist. But what happens when grime dies down? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I like to just like be able to do anything. So then if something's popular, like drill, like I listen to a bit of drill. I won't be a big fan of drill. Yeah. But then all my friends are like, oh, you have to go on a drill song. You have to go on a drill song. So I was like, all right. And then I did Drug Dealer. Yeah. Just to show that I can. I'm like, I'm not a drill artist, but I can do drill. If you need to. Yeah. And then like a party song, I can do that. I can do the serious ones. Yeah. You know, and then I have a song coming as well, which is, there's a rock section in it. I'm rapping over rock, and I'm like, I like all that. So like, you do like a bit of rock as well, which is great. I like to do it. I'm going to do it all. And then everyone's like, wow, he can do it all. Yeah. And then at that stage, then whatever's popular at the moment, I can jump on it and get more fans and people listening to my music. You know. Do you know what I think is great as well? When people have a wide taste in music. Yeah. Like you listen to quite a lot of different things, and that allows you then to do what you're doing. Yeah. Swap around. I think if people just stick to whether it's like rock, grunge, metal, rap, their range is quite limited. Then you're allowing yourself to kind of expand it out a bit, you know. Yeah, that's great. And, I like it all, and you can actually like bring them over to different music. Like, like even like with rock, like I have a song. It's called "I Don't Give a Fuck." Yeah, it was coming soon, and even at that, it's like I give it like it's like Slim Shady vibes, kind of. Yeah, you know. But then at the end, then I just got a electric guitar player to come in, and it just goes heavy metal at the end of it, and it just fits so well. And I was like, it's cool to mix two genres together like that. For some, you know, there's been artists been doing it for many years, and some have got kind of slated for it. I suppose that was back in back a number of years ago, a couple of decades ago. Well. Yeah, those kind of artists who have mixed in a little bit of, and people are just suspicious at the start. Yeah, and they don't really give it as much a chance as they should, maybe, you know. So where do you record your music? Mine, well, now it would be like 85 dB with Jarrow. Yeah, like he'd be like a studio producer, right? And I'd go to him now. He's located out in the Blyery. Okay. So yeah, 85 dB, like that on Facebook, all that. That's I'll be putting up all these name drop things up. So, on say all my songs on Spotify now. Yeah. They'd be recorded there. So the professional songs that I want recorded, that I really want to push, I'd record them out in Jarrow's. Well, their voices, because Jarrow wasn't open at the time, I recorded voices with a guy called Hazard Blaze. Okay. So I recorded that with him, and then the likes of over coronavirus time, I dropped a few songs on YouTube, like the coronavirus song, like a meme song, and a few covers. Yeah. So like I record them in my room. Like I have kind of a studio set up in my room. Yeah. Which I can get stuff sounding pretty close to like studio quality. Yeah. Oh, it does. It sounds really good. Yeah. For like the Nike Deer, like anyone else, they'd probably be like, yeah, that sounds cool. But obviously then like people who are really into the music can tell that stuff needs changing. So that's why I'd keep like my main songs would be in a studio. But I think it's class as well, because even if you wanted to do some demos in your room to take to the studio, to see if the song will sound good before you bring it. Exactly, I think that's good. Tell us a bit about the making of Drug Dealer, the video, because it's cool. Yeah. And it's I'll let you tell the story obviously, but when you see the video, it's quite like, it's kind of bit bold, in your face kind of style. Like what was the who came up with the idea for it first? Actually, was it yourself? Yeah, like I kind of had it out in my head what I wanted it to look like, because obviously I wanted it to look like these drill videos are looking.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to look like, I didn't want to have like guns and that in it, you know. So I'm not about that, so I didn't. And then I was like, I got contacted by Dara Mack, he's called, which would be the videographer at the time. And then he threw some ideas at me, I threw some ideas at him, and then we kind of, my mate Ross, big up Ross, he helped me get the car, the Mercedes in it.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had a few dogs in it. We had Pablo, which is the big,
he's a giant,
the big XL, which is Shimon's dog. Then we had Callie, the Frenchie, which would be Mike's dog, and then Ross had Kona there as well. So it's cool to have the dogs in the car. I think it just made it look cool. And then I ordered the flares offline. I thought the red smoke would make it stand out a bit more as well.
Yeah, and you shot it down in Monksland, was it? Yeah,
down at the Monksland Community Centre.
Right, yeah.
Big up Monksland.
Yeah. It looks kind of like industrial, you know. You know, the almost like the closed down shops, the bit of graffiti here and there. But obviously then
we trespassed for that bit. But,
but then even like, you know, the what kind of comes with what you expect to kind of come with the music maybe is, you know, you made the point as well of you're not a drug dealer.
Yeah.
In the song it says that you're not a drug dealer, but you're living like one because of you're making money and things like that. But I like the idea of presenting the flash car, the big dog, because that's in our minds, I think, or in my mind. I shouldn't speak for anyone else, but in my mind, the idea of a drug dealer's making loads of money is driving that car and holding that dog.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I kind of like that, and the kind of flares added cool. And you had the Irish flag, you were representing with the Irish flag there.
Shook you all out.
Yeah. But then you took, at the end, the car takes off. Do you mind if I let out the little trade secret?
Go away.
Cian was not driving that car, which is good for everyone involved, I would say.
Probably better off.
But was a good experience, good laugh, I'd say, to have your friends as well in it. Like.
It was, because that was probably my first proper professional video. Yeah. Like, I've got music videos up that I just did myself and stuff, but this was like a proper professional one done and stuff, and it was cool to have all the lads in then as well.
That must be great, because obviously your mates are so important to you as well.
Yeah.
Like, but it was so well shot as well. You say it was Dara Mack, is the name?
Yeah, Dara Mack. Yeah.
Really well shot. Like the way he used the light as well was really cool. Could I actually before we close up this section, right? Let me just. I'll tell you a little bit of a story, right, and then I can ask you, right. So
fire ahead.
Right, when I was a younger man, no, I was reading a book, Bono on Bono. You know Bono, obviously from U2, right? So
yeah,
he talked about when he was in when he was on the Zoo TV tour. Okay, he took on this character called the Fly, right? So he used to wear leather pants, leather jacket and shades, big wrapper on shades. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of him, like, but he's got these, so it looks like a fly's eyes, right? He said when he took on that role and he removed himself from, even though Bono was obviously a made-up name anyway, but he removed that what the expectation people have of him, and he became the Fly. He could do whatever he wanted on stage. He didn't care anymore. He could be rude, he could be shouting at people, whatever he was doing, right? Do you find it like, when, I'm not saying that you're doing that, but I'm saying when you're Cian, right?
Yeah.
And when you're Teggy, is there more of an armour when you're Teggy? Are you a bit more confident?
Yeah, I think, not obviously to an extent. I'm going out wearing leather pants.
Shame.
You know, all the women be after me if I put on leather pants.
No doubt.
But yeah, I feel that, like obviously just my normal day life is like, Cian is all about the gym, training and that, and then obviously when I'm doing my music, I'm Teggy. So yeah, when I'm on stage and a mic in my hand, I just feel really confident, you know what I mean? And
I think that's interesting though, isn't it?
Yeah, and like, even, it's mad because some people see me as Cian, like people from the gym, they wouldn't know me as the rapper, they'd know me as Cian, which is a lot different to like a lot of people then from town and all about, oh, what's up, Teggy? They'd probably just see me as the rapper.
Yeah.
Like, so it is, kinda.
I think
in a vibe.
I think if I was to kind of see, like, it's just the sense of like, when you're Teggy, there's the kind of chest maybe comes out a little bit more. It's like when you're in the music video. Yeah. You have to be Teggy. You have to be that persona. I'm not saying there's a huge difference between the two, by the way. I'm not saying you go completely.
My chest is always out. Let me tell you.
But like, you know, when you're Cian and like, we've all got insecurities. Our everyday lives can be a slog sometimes and whatever. But I just get the sense that when you're Teggy and you take on those characteristics of who Teggy is, whether it's through the lyrics and the music, I like to see, you're so confident then, and it's not something that you could hold on to 24/7 because you'd be exhausted if you were Teggy all the time. But I think when I read that about Bono, and I read it years ago, and when I thought of you having the alter ego as such, I just wanted to ask you that question because I think Bowie did it a few times as well, where he became the Tin White Duke and Aladdin Sane and all these different characters, and he was throwing the Hitler salute at one point. And, you know, he'd lose it with some characters, and other characters it was just different.
A bit mad. I'm not going to be throwing that salute around anything.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
100%. Like, I say, when the camera comes on, it's kind of like my mum always says to me as well. Like every time I'm on camera, or like a song, my English accent just comes out even more. Like you know, but I don't know. It's just weird. Like you just that's what you kind of have to betray. Like I can't just be on camera like, hey guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like you have to just put yourself out there and be like extra. You know, to get people looking and
I think it's a skill though, because I don't think a lot of people could do it. I don't think people can kind of adjust that way, because we're all set in our ways. Like especially when as you get older, you're definitely more set in your ways.
Yeah.
But it's like when Martin said to me yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, and he said that he wanted to see if you'd have your English accent when you came on the microphone. Like
I don't know if I do.
No, but you actually don't know. You sound like Keen, like in the gym. But this is the thing. It's like when you're on the video, maybe sometimes. Maybe it's when there's a camera on. I don't really know, but it's just one of those tiny little shifts. Like,
but it's kind of like if I'm doing a music video and like someone's recording me freestyle.
Yeah.
Then the English accent will come up like, "What's up, guys? It's Teggy here." But even then, I'm not confident. I'm confident doing them videos.
Yeah.
But then I remember doing like being in the advert for the gym, where it's me talking normal.
Yeah.
And I just kept laughing, and I was nervous about it. So it's like so much different, you know. It's weird.
It is. I think, and that may be it though. But that may be the Teggy thing, because you know, once the camera, when the microphone is your hand and you're about to rap or freestyle, that's way different than speaking in front of a camera and trying to be, "Hi guys," you know. It's a different experience. But speaking of the gym, Keen, I'm just going to throw in this little advert here. All right,
let's go for it.
We'll find the button. There we go. Fusion Training Centre, Monksland, Athlone. A place to train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, martial arts and CrossFit. A great atmosphere with experienced coaches and a real sense of community. If you want to join the team, find us on Facebook at Fusion Training Centre or drop in for a chat. Fusion Training Centre, train like a warrior. Yes, 3 in a row. Right, let's talk about tattoos, because I know you've got a few, and I wanted to kind of drill down on why you got certain ones. So what is it about the character of the Joker that why did you want to get the Joker on you?
I don't know. I just love the Joker, like, you know. Out of all the films, I don't know. I like that kind of like psychopath vibe.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't care.
Yeah. Is this, you've got the Heath Ledger one, is it?
No, I kind of just have like it's not really an actor Joker I have at the moment.
From the comic books, is it?
It's kind of like, just some artwork someone made of it, and I found out I like that. But Heath Ledger's 100% like the best Joker.
Yeah. Well,
Jack Phoenix is good as well.
It's difficult to compare the two, because the one is a lead in a film about him, and then one is the support. Do you know what I think is kind of, and I'm sure you've heard this before, this kind of idea about the Joker. But so when I was 7 or 8, the first Batman would have come out, and with the Joker, there was Jack Nicholson, you know, and who was great as the Joker
he's
too.
Good.
And it was all about chaos and carnage, like with him, right? But when it went, he wanted to be rich, he wanted to make money, all that stuff. But Heath Ledger's one was probably scarier, because he not only wanted to cause chaos, but he didn't care about money. He burnt the big stash of money, didn't he, at one point?
Yeah, he just wanted mayhem, like.
Just mayhem, like, and that's
why I love him.
Yeah, and
that's what I want.
That's why I wanted to ask you about it, because I wasn't sure of which, I should have asked you beforehand, really. I wasn't sure which Joker that you would have gone for. So would you have gone for Heath Ledger's one over Jack Nicholson's?
Yeah, like Heath Ledger, just like madness.
Yeah,
that's what I want in my life, just every day, all day.
I'd be so tired.
Just mad. No, I wouldn't. I just want madness in my life. You know?
So speaking of madness, right? Well, this isn't really madness, to be fair, but I suppose some might see it as such. So Harley Quinn, then. I'll probably never forgive you for telling me to watch Suicide Squad, but how come you you decided on Harley Quinn?
Cause she's a bad bitch.
But these are like, you know, like these are permanent. You know, these are such striking. I don't have any tattoos, by the way. Just it might surprise you. To me, it's and I've no problem with them, obviously, but it's just those like permanent. And I think it's deadly, by the way. It's really well done. But yeah, it's of interest to me of why people pick them. I talked to Josh, and he just picked his for the crack. Like, apart from the one on his leg, he's got like a Buddha. He only picked it for the crack. He's got a coffee cup, I think, somewhere. And he just did it for the laugh. But like, to me, that's like, that's forever now.
Forever, yeah. No, I'll always like, I don't regret nothing, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I'm getting something, I'm getting it. Yeah. That's what it is.
You're going
so like, I want like a Joker themed leg anyway, but
right.
Like, the Joker is my favourite character in superhero films, and like Harley Quinn would be my favourite female.
Right.
And then like, they're a couple as well, so it's kind of like,
True.
Get her on the back shoots, plus Margot Robbie looked fire. So I got kind of like a comic book version mixed with like the Daddy Little Monster version. Like, mix them two together. But yeah, like, if there's any girls out there that are like Harley Quinn, slide in my DMs, you know what I mean?
Contact Key. We'll give you these details at the end of the right, so I know we kind of, right, we talked about this, or so you mentioned it before, right? So Michael Jackson, you've got a Michael Jackson tattoo, right? And you love Michael Jackson's music, and I think, to be fair, like, there's very few people who dislike Michael Jackson's music. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's one of the great songwriters of all time. I suppose the point and the thing I would ask was, do you regret having the tattoo? I know you knew about the allegations beforehand, and whether you believe them or not, I'm not going to go into that, because that's between you and me. Like, we probably have different things on it. But is it just, you just think, well, it's purely he's my musical hero and that's why I put him on? Yeah,
kind of like, it's not really like a picture of his face anyway.
Yeah,
it's just like the album cover, "Who's Bad?" That's what it says. And if anyone asks about who's bad, well, I'm bad. Some people don't even know it's Michael Jackson, but I know. But like, nah, wouldn't bother me. Like, it didn't actually come out that he was doing what he was doing.
For like solidly, he was found guilty, kind of a thing. Like.
Yeah.
But I think, like, the reason I ask, and it's not a gotcha question or anything, it's just like the fact that you love the guy's music, you're hugely influenced by it.
I'd let him touch me.
We're going to edit that out for sure. No, but you're so like Queen. Did you mention Queen already?
Yeah. No, we haven't, but
Freddie Mercury for you is another one who's just, you have him up the,
he's
up
probably
the,
number one.
Yeah.
Like, Queen, and to be honest, like, it wasn't one of my first, like I was talking earlier about Elvis and that. I didn't really, my dad loved Queen, and he used to listen to them the whole time, and obviously I liked when I was listening, but I really got into them in the past few years.
Yeah.
And I was just, I don't know, just amazing, I think. And then I watched the Bohemian Rhapsody film, which I know you didn't really like to Remy Malek, but I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And that film, I just come out of that and I was like, jeez, I love Queen even more now, knowing the story, like, And
you started, like, we talked about it because we were doing the kids class at the time, and the whole idea of, when you see something that you're like blown away by, and then all of a sudden you only listen to Queen for like 3 months. And I got that from the film as well, by the way, where I finished the film, and all of a sudden I found myself just listening to Queen for a solid, like.
And to be honest, after watching that film, that made me go, like I was saying, mixing the rock and the thing, that made me go experiment with my music, because the scene in the film, I think they're making Bohemian Rhapsody at the time, and they're like, we need different things, and they're swinging the speakers for different sound. Like, that obviously not to that extreme, but that's
but like bringing opera in, they were bringing.
I was like, I need to bring some different stuff and vibes into my music,
I do like, we do have a different opinion on Bohemian Rhapsody, but like, I like the fact that when it came out, it did open it up to other people as well. Like, Queen's music was kind of brought to the fore, and you were like, Jesus, it's not just Bohemian Rhapsody. There's so many brilliant songs that they have.
Like Love of My Life, like that won't be, and that's probably one of my favourite Queen songs.
That's somebody. The one that they do in, is it Brazil?
Yeah, Rock and Rio. Isn't
it? My God, that is unbelievable. Like 250,000 fans singing onto your song. It's just wow.
Unreal.
But so you've kind of taken on a new training kind of regime at the moment.
Yeah, since the lockdown ended.
Yeah. And what brought that about?
I don't know, I was watching a lot of Eddie Hall, obviously. Yeah. Like, he'd be probably, fitness side, he'd be my biggest inspiration.
And he's, like, just for the people who don't know, he's
Eddie Hall. He was, like, I think 2017 strongest man in the world.
Right, fair enough.
And
he is a beast.
He has the record deadlift of 500 kg.
Bloody hell.
I'm gonna hit that soon. I don't know. Like, I just was watching a lot of his videos, and obviously after lockdown, I just got a bit fat, as you do, eating pot noodles and sweets and playing games, but I just really wanted to I've always wanted to be a bit big, you know. So then like Martin did me up a plan, 6-week plan.
Yeah.
Which I did the first routine of that so far, and then up the weight now onto the next one. But yeah, I'm just hitting a lot more weights now than I would say before lockdown. I was all about jiu-jitsu and kickboxing because I was obviously training for the fights where I'd have to be kind of not eating as much and just doing like cardio because I'm heavy for my size, like, so I didn't want to be fighting big dudes, so I had to cut the weight down to 70 kg, where now I can eat and hit weights. Like, I don't care about my weight at the moment. I just want to like look bulk and muscly. So
you prefer, you obviously prefer.
I prefer this kind of. I prefer that I can eat and like hit the weights and train, but obviously I do still love kickboxing and jiu-jitsu as well. Like, so I'm gonna do out the plan properly soon where I can still fit kickboxing and jiu-jitsu in, but like I don't have any plans on fighting because I'm not doing that weight cut stuff anymore. You
say you got down to 70. Like, it's frightening, the picture that you went the day you weighed yourself. Wasn't
like
it?
A crackhead.
It was you don't often see people, you know, like that. You'll see people on UFC weigh-ins and stuff like that, but you don't.
That was that was my own fault as well. In fairness, like,
did you have to cut really quickly? I think.
Because like obviously, you know, Martin tells me like eat good for these weeks, and I didn't. So like that blames on me because I left it, and then obviously the week off, then I did what I had to do the week off, but still wasn't. I left it all to the last minute. And then I didn't want to pull out the fight either because loads of people do that, and I don't want to do that. So I'm like, I'll fight even if I go in and get sparked out. And what?
Well, there's that brilliant photo of you, where bloodied face and looking at the camera with the mouth open. It's just a very funny photo because I like most people be kind of, I wouldn't say cowering because that's the wrong term for people who go into those cages and do what they do or into the rings.
But some people do, they'd be defeated, like, you know. But like, I'd never, like, you have to spark me out clean, like, I'm just gonna. Even at that fight, like, I was bust up, my nose was like bleeding, but kept going forward, kept fighting, you know, didn't give up. And
to be fair though, in your defence, your nose bleeds quite easily.
Yeah, like, it does bleed easily.
So it mightn't have been as bad as it looked.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't as bad as it looked. Like, it was. People thought my face was bleeding, but it wasn't. It was like my nose started bleeding, and I think he caught an uppercut, splattered the blood all over me. Then, you know, it was very Joker-esque, wasn't it? Now that I think about it, so I was talking to Martin again, asking him during the week, like, I was talking about you coming in, doing your training on your own, right? So how would you? It's easy when you're in a group and everybody's doing it, you start doing it. How do you motivate yourself to go in and do it on your own? Like days, I know you don't like leg day, and you said most people don't. So it's all, how do you motivate yourself for that? I don't know, like I kind of, like I was talking to you in the gym, like I get inspired by like YouTube, like obviously David Goggins, he's one of them, like Eddie Hall, like I watch their videos. Right. And then you have to just think to yourself sometimes when you're sitting there, like, oh, I don't want to go do this. But they're the days you probably should go in because, like, if you're not going to do it that day, you're not going to get the benefits. You know, like if you look at all the top athletes, they're not sitting around like, oh, I don't want to do it. It's like if you don't want to do it, what you're going to do? You're going to sit around, do it, not doing it, and then what? You know, just get up and do it. Even if it's like, you know, Martin has the picture of Muhammad Ali up, and it's like I hated every minute of training, but something. I don't know. Live a champion the rest of your life. Exactly. Kind of like that vibe, you know. You just have to get up and do it. So I think, and that's with everything. Same with like fighting. Like it got to a stage where I'm just like, just do it. You know, like if you're nervous, I don't really get that nervous about anything really. Yeah. That's not even training or fighting. That's just with everything. Yeah. Like say if I was going on a date with a girl or something, and I was nervous, just do it. Just walk out, go meet her. Yeah. Whatever happens. You know, it's like life's too short, I think, to be wasting it and be scared and stuff like that. So yeah, I just like leg day. If I don't want to go, I just walk downstairs, eat my breakfast, put my headphones on, I put a song on that I like, and just walk out the door with your bag and don't even think about it. Yeah. And then when you're there. Then you know what I mean. You can't pull out. So
I talked a bit with you yesterday about that. The idea of the best days, rewarded days, I should say, are they always the ones that you struggle with? Like, you know, we'll say leg day for argument's sake, and if you get through it, the reward at the end of that is always even bigger than it would be on a day that you like doing, you know, if you get me. So yeah, I think motivational wise, people get it from everywhere, don't they? Like, people 100%. Can self-motivate. Some people listen to people or whatever. As long as you said, as long as you get out the door and I'll talk about training now. As long as you get out the door and kind of give it a go.
Think about people you don't like. That's a good one as well.
Is that a good one? Yeah.
When I did that, like the last day I did that nearly 20k run.
Yeah.
My feet were hurting, my legs were hurting, and like I was just thinking mad stuff in my head.
Yeah.
You know, I obviously I was listening to like David Goggins in my ear and that, but at the same time, while you're listening to that, you're thinking of other stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd just be thinking of like thinking of the future. Like I know I say I'm never gonna fight, but then in my head I'm like what if you do fight and the guy you fighting right like he's training right now, he's training harder than you. Like someone's always gonna be going harder than you. Yeah. That's how I think. So I'm just like, or I think of someone I don't like. I'm just like, am I gonna let them be fitter than me?
Right. Yeah.
Or are they gonna outrun me? I'm like, no, they're not. So I just keep going until that, you know what I mean? Just go until you can't no more, kind of.
Yeah, I think I could do it a bit of that. Sometimes I was using the rower yesterday a bit, and I think I could have probably used a bit of that advice then.
Yeah, just always think like, you know, someone's going harder than you, someone you don't like.
So this kind of actually brings it this question in nicely. So you've never had any like mental health stuff yourself?
No, not really. Like obviously a bit of anxiety, like and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say I've had mental health compared to other people, no. So
when somebody gets onto you, like we were talking about earlier, when somebody gets onto you online, whether it's on YouTube, you put a video out, you put a song out on Spotify, how do you deal with that criticism? Does it stay there? Does it stick with you?
It used to. Yeah. Like say when I first started now and someone would comment something like I'd be like, I might just delete the video.
Really?
Stuff like that. But now I just laugh it off. Like I put the drug dealer video I uploaded to like an English channel. Yeah. So obviously it'd be a bigger audience, and I knew I was like, there's gonna be trolls. Trolls online. I troll people online, so I can't complain about it. But like, there's people commenting on that. Like, but I laugh it off. Like you know, obviously I'd only get annoyed, like if I knew someone from town commented something. Yeah. I still wouldn't get annoyed, but I'm like, say it to my face then. You know, if you can say it to my face, comment on my video, I don't mind. But don't be scared of, like, you know what I mean? Don't put your head down then when you see me, like, when you're scared. You know what I mean?
That's true, I think. But the other thing, I think you know when what you're putting out is good. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't be putting it out if you didn't think it was good.
No, like that's it. I used to just upload anything, Right. But now I'm more picky of what I do upload. So that's it. If I like it, I don't really care, like, you know?
Yeah, because not like you can't bring out something that everyone's going to like. It's an impossible
thing. Someone will always hate on it. Yeah. 100%.
Now the better people who are hating it should be the ones that stay quiet. I mean, sometimes you don't have to comment on everything, but there is people who sit there and troll and they just comment on every video or whatever.
Like, if you think about it though, like, if people like your song, they're not gonna comment. Like, some people do, they'll go out the way and comment, which is nice, and you'll always appreciate that. Yeah. But like, I don't, like, I could really like a song, but I don't like hit like and comment on it. Yeah, yeah. But you'd still like it.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But like, it's the same if you go into a restaurant and you really like it, you probably won't leave a review. You just be like, oh, that was a nice restaurant. Yeah, yeah. But if you don't like the restaurant, you're gonna leave a review.
You're on it, yeah.
It's kind of like that with songs. Like, if someone doesn't like it, they're gonna go, I'm gonna write a comment now. And you know what I mean?
That's we were talking about the good part of the internet. That's the kind of bad part of the internet. And it's such a destructive, it's a very destructive thing. And it's not just destructive for the people you're sending them to. You don't realise it, but all that hate and dislike that you're spreading out there is very destructive for yourself too. Yeah. So it's like, if you don't like something, just you don't.
Some people, like, that's what I mean. Some people can't do it. Like, some musicians might not be able to deal with it. Yeah, you know what I mean. But like, it doesn't bother me. They're just people like that. Keyboards, they're just all pussies. Like, they're behind the screen. Yeah, because they won't say it to my face. Yeah, because I'll bounce my knuckle off the skull. but they just won't. Like, you know, that's what makes me laugh even more. Like, I'm just like. Makes me laugh. I'm just like, you're sad. Like,
I think it's bizarre that people from the town would put it up.
Yeah. Like, you should make it happy as well. I'm like, I'm making them waste time of their day to comment on my stuff. Like, so you're getting their attention anyway.
Yeah, and it's another way to kind of stay motivated as well. You know, it's maybe not be the most positive way to stay motivated, but it is a way. Where are you on your? You're a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Yeah. With a tip.
With a tip, don't forget
not now,
that.
I'm probably a white belt now. But
I can't. I'm not listening to that. But listen, and obviously you've explained it a bit there now. So where are you on the journey? You want to get back into it, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you worry about? Sorry to interrupt, but do you worry about going back in if you haven't done it for a while? Is it a concern to you that you might get tapped by somebody who's beneath your?
No.
See, that's why I think
I'm still going to tap them all out, so it's okay. That's a message to all you white belts at Fusion, yeah.
But listen,
the King's here.
The King is back. Yeah. But because I was talking to Ryan and Calvin about this the other day, right? And I was talking about how what if I was like blue white, right? So I go in and the white belt taps me out. Like, why do I get annoyed about it or anything? It's just
no, it is annoying, especially if you're. I think when you're training hard as well. Yeah. And then you do get caught when you knew the defense and stuff. Yeah. It is annoying, but at the same time, like in all gyms, I say just leave your ego at the door. You know. Like, yeah. You're in jiu-jitsu. You're doing it every day. Someone will tap you. Like you're gonna get tapped.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, obviously, if a lower belt taps you, it's annoying. Like more than likely, when I do go back, someone will get me. Like, you know. But like it doesn't bother me. It's the people that like a lot of people hate that. Like they don't like getting tapped, but they're the people that like don't learn. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly
if
it.
You get tapped out by an armbar, you're gonna think about, I don't want to get tapped by that armbar again, and you're gonna learn the defense there.
Exactly.
So it just makes you better. That's what you have to think like.
That's how you should exactly be thinking, and especially as if you're someone who's just starting. If you got caught by something, look for the defense of it. Don't
go home and just say to yourself, right, next time I roll with him, he's not going to tap me. Yeah. Or I'm going to tap him. And then if he catches you in the armbar and you get out of it, you're going to feel even better than you did before, you know? So, so I mean, you're going to get tapped. It's going to happen.
Exactly. Well, I'm looking forward to rolling with you again. It's been a while. I think the last time you were rolling, I think I rolled with you, actually. Yeah. What draws you to Marvel and DC films? Superhero films, I should say, really.
I don't know. Just always loved it. I think,
is it because you grew up with them?
Yeah, kind of grew up with them, but it's like an escape, kind of, isn't it? Like like you put Avengers on and they're in this big world and doing mad stuff. It's like you can just stick that on for 2 hours and you're just in that world. You're not in the world of stress and all that. But yeah, you can just escape, and then like there's so many stories. Then you get connected to all the characters in the films. Then they're mixing together. Yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, and it's kind of like a community. Like you can go buy like all the figures, the comics. Like I love all that stuff.
Is there a little bit of and I don't mean this in a really bad way. It's going to sound like I do, but like leave your brain at the door. Like you don't have to be tuned into everything going on around it. Yeah, you can relax a bit with it.
You could if you want. Obviously, like there is loads of stuff in in Marvel films like that you wouldn't cop. Like I've watched, like you watch it once, and you're like, that was class, and then you watch it again, you're like, oh, I didn't realize that was there. Like little Easter eggs kind of vibe. Yeah. But yeah, you could just you just zone out, watch it. Where like sometimes you watch the Da Vinci Code or something, you have to be like concentrating for the whole film. Like I don't like them type of films.
So can you understand? Because we slag each other a bit in the gym about this, and
love it.
You know, look, I do love it, but I'm normally it's normally about 5 on your team and nobody on mine. Do you understand why I can't get into them? Like, and I say this right. Both my brothers are into them. Yeah. They're around the same age as me. There's like 5 years in between as well. I think when you grow up with something and you start young, you start early, and you get into that, like you say, because it's a huge universe, that especially the Marvel ones. Yeah. If you don't grow up with it and try and watch it, I'll tell you what I watched: Suicide Squad, Black Panther, and Ant-Man. They're the 3 that I've watched recently. I've seen the Batman films of that, and I enjoyed Ant-Man. I thought Black Panther was very good too.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, very still shocked by that news. Like, but so why I can't get into them, and I call them comic book films, and it's not a slag. Like they're from comic books, right? So for me, I can't quite. Yeah, I've been called a snob, right, when it comes to music, actually, in particular, and I suppose people might call me a snob when it comes to films when they don't like superhero stuff. But I also find, if I say to you, right, so I say I want you to watch this, right, and say if they're films that you do need to just sit there and concentrate fully for 2 hours and you don't find it enjoyment, and you say, no, I'm not enjoying it, can I call you a snob then? Is that all right? Does it work both ways?
I don't know. No, I wouldn't call you a snob. No. Like, everyone has their own taste. If you don't like something, you don't like it.
I think, and do you know what I like about it in the gym? Me and you and Martin, it's all good-natured slagging.
It's banter.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not about who's right and who's wrong, because it is about taste and what you're into, and that's damn. 100%. You know. Why do you? No, I'm actually no. What? No, I will ask.
Ask it.
Who's your favorite? Who's the greatest actor in the world?
The greatest actor in the world.
Yeah, and now answer this honestly. Now, don't say like Robert De Niro.
Well, no, you know what? I'm not even. Like, obviously, I love Adam Sandler. Yeah, right. But he's not the greatest actor in the world. But I love him. He's probably my favorite now. Like I'd have all his films in that.
Why do you? Did you watch him when you were young? Was it?
Yeah, I think like I grew up, and then like I remember when I found, what was it, like play.com? I think it was at the time.
Yeah.
And I started ordering DVDs like when I first was ordering offline, and then I ordered like Waterboy, and I watched that, and I was like, oh, I loved it. And then I just had to like I like collecting stuff, and then at the time I had to collect every Adam Sandler DVD, and I just loved all this stuff. Like obviously some of his new stuff's not as great, but like like Billy Madison would be like my all-time favorite film. Like watched about 1,000 times.
When we were young, we watched Happy Gilmore about 50 times.
Yeah,
not joking.
Another great one.
We watched it. Do you know what disappoints me about Sandler though? And he's meant to be a pretty cool guy actually, and you know whatever. But the fact that he doesn't do enough of the kind of, they don't have to be fully serious roles, but like Uncut Gems, right? So I'll give you 3, right? Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love, and The Mayor of Its Stories are kind of 3 films he did.
Reign Over Me.
That's another one. Those ones I named, he should have been Oscar nominated for at least one. He's not going to get an Oscar nomination because he's Adam Sandler. They take it too seriously.
He got loads of them. What, the Raspberry Awards? Is it?
Yeah, like he got the Razzie, and look, some of them he probably deserved, but that's fine, right? Halle Berry won an Oscar and a Razzie in the same year.
Yeah.
So that, you know, you can do that, but he definitely should have an Oscar nomination. And I slag him off probably a lot more than I should, but absolutely should have one. And the stuffiness, I suppose, and I'd love to see him do more of those characters, because I've never seen an actor in so we'll say Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love portray loneliness and desperation like he does.
Yeah,
he's so good at it. And then he can do that little bit of, he doesn't go over the top and it's funny in those films because it wouldn't make sense, but he can do the little bit of funny thing. He's got a scene in Punch Drunk Love with Philip Seymour Hoffman that's just it's amazing, you know. So yeah, we mess and have a joke about Adam Sandler, but I appreciate his acting skills. I just wish he put up more. Look, he's probably having a great life. He's happy when he's
old. I don't know. Now he's getting older, he might, like, because he's not going to be as funny as he gets older. So he might do some more serious roles now. But I don't know. The classic ones were the best, obviously. He
got so much money though at that time off Netflix, didn't he?
Yeah,
huge. So why would he? Doesn't need to do anything if he doesn't want to. So what? Not that you have any time left to do anything, but do you like to do anything else in your spare time when you're just relaxing?
I don't know.
You play video games, yeah?
Yeah, like I click on the Xbox, play a bit of the new UFC game and that, but then I play that for 20 minutes and hop the remote off the wall in anger.
Who do you pick in that?
Cody Gambrandt, probably the most.
All right,
you know?
Okay.
So
everybody likes him.
I like the little small dudes throwing the fast hands.
Yeah,
I played that, and then I was playing I don't know, what was the game before that? Bit of Fortnite when that started popping.
Yeah,
I played that for a while. Then again, I get killed, I just go mad. Like, I can't. It just angers me more than relaxes me. I'll play it for 20 minutes, and I'll probably just go and watch YouTube videos, or make music.
Probably, that's what you do, to chill out.
Make music's probably the main thing I do.
What kind of YouTube videos would you watch now? Would you watch music ones that kind of completely different?
I'd watch like Eddie Hall makes a lot of YouTube videos now. There's like KSI.
Oh yeah,
my little brother really likes him as well. Like, so we'd watch them together sometimes, and like the Sidemen, which would be like KSI's group.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
There's a group called the TGF Bros, which they're from my hometown in England.
Oh right.
And they just go do like mad stuff.
Oh, right.
Like, your man was on BBC News because he put his head in cemented his head in the microwave.
Oh, that guy.
And the fire brigade had to come out and save him. And
I've heard.
You've probably heard of that, yeah. But they always do like just silly stuff like that. It's just funny to watch people be idiots. Like.
Yeah. I watch a lot of those films, like our videos as people's faces when what is it, like watch people's faces when they die inside or something, you know. I watch some of those
or eating challenges. I love watching them as well.
Well, like, it's just one of the, if that is proper, leave your brain at the door and you just relax and chill out. Like KSI was a big surprise to me. Again, I didn't know a lot about KSI. I knew he fought Logan Paul in a box match that was very, very big, and I heard him on a podcast with Louis Theroux, and I thought,
yeah, he did.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's very good at what he does, like speaking about himself and, you know, promotion.
He's funny, he puts up a lot of funny videos, and then obviously makes music now as well. Like, he had like a #2 album.
Did he? Yeah. I remember seeing him on he did some terrible thing when he got people to ring him in or send messages in, and they were like, some people said some terrible things. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it was like, he does a thing called One Question Go. Someone like goes
that's what it was.
One question nudged. A lot of them is just like people throwing racism at him.
Yeah, the trolls, like, where can people find your music?
Find it on Spotify.
That's under just Teggy.
And YouTube, TEGGY.
Yeah.
And then you'll know it's me, because my beautiful face on half the thumbnails. So
you couldn't miss that beautiful face. And then they can buy merchandise as well.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Just if you message me on Instagram.
Right, okay.
Teggy Insta.
Right.
So just TEGGY Insta. And then if you message me, then people can get the merch. And I sold a bit like over coronavirus. I sold like I think 10 hoodies and about 20 t-shirts. So
really, yeah,
good enough. Like
very good.
Like I'm not being cocky selling merch. I thought I'd throw it out there, and then people wanted it. So
hey, we're thinking about doing it. So don't worry. I'll on Thursday or Wednesday evening or Thursday, I'll put all that info up on our page on Facebook or whatever, like 100%. So that you can find it. Cian, it's been an absolute pleasure. I messed up that word. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Does it pause? No, but thanks for your honesty, and we appreciate you coming out. Cian cycled out here today. I think you're the first person who actually cycled.
Getting them kilometres in, you know. Getting a six-pack in for the ladies.
He doesn't take a day off, especially when it comes to the ladies. I'm just going to fly through these. Thank you to Cousin John.
Big up, John.
To his family and to Megan. Also, thanks to Jer, my mum, my dad, my granddad. Spotify, we're on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Facebook at the Wheatley. We're on Instagram. You'll find on the Wheatley and Twitter as well. We're also on Spotify, Apple Anchor, all those platforms that I forget, Google Podcasts, things like that. As always, thanks for your support, everyone, for listening in. Cian, appreciate it. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Take care of yourself. We will see you Sunday, and then we'll be back on. Well, this will be on Wednesday, so you'll hear us then. Everybody, take care and have a good one. Bye.